it comes down to, honestly, hey guys, this is JP's LEGO reviews. Today we are comparing the LEGO Creator Expert Modulars, and on the left we have the Parisian restaurant set number 10243. On the right we have the Detective's Office set number 10246. Here we are comparing displayability, value, building experience, and the detail of these two sets. So let's break it down. When it comes to displayability, both of these are straight modulars, meaning that they both have mediocre looking sides, very, very good looking fronts, and sort of good backs, but nothing special. But the Parisian restaurant is way more displayable for a few different reasons. Firstly, the back is superior compared to the Detective's Office. So if we just show you the back, the Detective's Office looks a whole lot plainer than the Parisian restaurant. And this little balcony area right here makes the side look far more interesting than any of the sides of the Detective's Office, which makes for a more displayable build. And then on the front, you have relatively standard, I think, not Western, but like US sort of architecture with the Detective's Office, or British. Not anything that's too interesting, but you have French architecture on the left, which firstly is some of the world's best architecture. It's far more detailed than quote-unquote Western architecture. And the quality of the build in the Parisian restaurant makes it more displayable as well. Now, let's move on to the value proposition of these two sets. When it comes to value proposition, the Detective's Office in Australia is $30 less. It's actually $20. And in the US, I think it's a $10 difference. And that makes the Detective's Office already the better value for money. Because, in my opinion, these should be worth the same amount of money. You get a equally meh sort of detailed third floor. You get highly detailed second floors and highly detailed first floors. Yes, the Parisian restaurant has a balcony, but the Detective's Office fits in a storyline into it that the Parisian restaurant doesn't. Yes, the Detective's Office looks a bit more plain on the outside compared to the Parisian restaurant, but also it's due to the styling that it is as well. And the Detective's Office has far more uses than the Parisian restaurant due to the fact that it just integrates more rooms and more different types of scenarios than the Parisian restaurant. So overall, they're pretty equal in value and what you get. And because the Detective's Office is simply cheaper, it's just better value for money by default. Now, let's move on to the building experiences of these two sets. This may be one of the most difficult things to compare out of everything, because both of these LEGO sets right here are incredibly good builds. The Detective's Office, and both the Detective's Office and Parisian restaurant, on the insides, you have an equal amount of just overall detail, but what makes each different is the Parisian restaurant has a far more detailed exterior, but the Detective's Office weaves in a storyline that makes it more engaging to build. And it makes it interesting to discover that on the ground floor you have a cooking smuggling area that you simply just don't have a storyline to relate to with a Parisian restaurant. And overall, it's a tie, because you get the same building experience. It's the same quality. It's just as good as each other. And it's too hard to compete with, because at this point it comes down to personal preference. But now let's move on to which LEGO set has the most amount of detail. Now, when it comes to detail, what LEGO set is more detailed? Well, both of them have a pretty equal amount of detail on the inside, but the Parisian restaurant has a lot more detail on the outside, which is why the Parisian restaurant is the more detailed set, because overall, for both inside and outside, you get more detail with the Parisian restaurant than the Detective's Office, despite the fact that the Detective's Office comes with a storyline that the Parisian restaurant just simply doesn't come with. But now, let's look into my final thoughts on these two Lego sets here. Out of these two Lego modular Lego sets, what one is the best? Well, the Parisian restaurant is more displayable and it has more detail, but the detective's office has a equal amount of building experience and it's $30 less. And weighing all these things together, it comes down to, honestly, pricing. And by ever so slightly, the detective's office wins the comparison. The reason why the detective's office wins the comparison is simply because it's $30 less than the Parisian restaurant. That's all that matters. And the reason why is because you're getting a very, very close to equal experience. They both have the same type of build, being straight, one-way, non-corner modular. You get a similar amount of detail on the inside. The Parisian restaurant is a little bit more detailed on the inside. It does have 200 more pieces, but the detective's office does look bigger, so there's that to consider. The Parisian restaurant has French architecture. The detective's office has Americanized architecture. But at the end of the day, you can't really beat the fact that the detective's office is just $30 cheaper. That's hard to beat. And that's why the detective's office is a better Lego set than the Parisian restaurant to buy, simply because when it retailed for less money than the Parisian restaurant. And those are my thoughts. Let me know, guys, down below what your thoughts are on these two sets and which set is better. Again, let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a brilliant day and keep building.